Hey, lately, have you noticed that the cost of living has not just gone up, but immensely gone up, skyrocketed, if I could say so. So, welcome to the channel. I'm Shon-Jhon. Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you want to learn more about money and personal finance. Not from a guru perspective. I'm not a guru. I'm just a guy who was poor all of my life. How poor were we? We were so poor that poor people gave to us. So if you ever want to know how poor you are, listen. If poor people are helping you, you're really poor. And I grew up that way. Hard life, hard environment. By the time I was 12 years old, I witnessed my first murder. That was the first of a few. And it was just a terrible life. I would not want to go back and relive my childhood. Yes, there were some cool things about it, some friends and whatnot, but overall, very tragic, not really good. Even been in situations more than once where, I could have lost my life. Still bear the scars. But that was a long time ago, and thank God I'm not in that position anymore. So now, what I've learned throughout my hard journey in life, I just try to, I guess, give it back by, well, I don't even know if it's giving back because nobody's really giving me anything. But I guess I just try to give it out, share it, so somebody, maybe even you, could use this information and go, wait a minute, have a light bulb moment and go, wait a minute. I'm in a situation right now. What do I need to do? What did you do? What worked for you? What didn't work? What do you advise? And so I'm never telling you what to do. All I want to do is open your mind to start thinking about what are some other moves that you can make that could better your life. Because whatever I tell you to do might not be the right thing for you. So I don't want to advise you. I just want to inform you. Is that fair? All right, somebody write fair in the comments if it's fair, because I know there's a lot of gurus on here and they have a lot to say, and they haven't been through much in life, or some have, and a lot of it's not practical. They show you, they tell you, or they show you their lifestyle. You don't really know how to implement anything to change your life, and so I'm going to try to change that with this channel. So there's no fancy camera work, there's no fancy lighting, no fancy editing. It's just talking to me, right? So it's just you and I having a conversation, and that's all it is. So I'm very grateful for this platform. I'm thankful that YouTube is out there so that I can share information like this. So hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you don't mind learning about personal finance and whatnot, and I'll try to share as much as I can. If you want to get a copy of my book, it's called Ready, Set, Wealth, Learn the Secrets of the Rich and Wealthy. You're welcome to get a copy of that book. It's only $25. They ship out on Fridays. So go ahead and so for everybody that's waiting, you'll be getting your copy soon. For everybody who wants to get a copy, just write book in the comments and we'll get one out to you as soon as possible. And you just invest $25, and trust me, it's worth it. We handle shipping and handling, and it's well worth it. So here we go. So I'm going to talk about a few things, maybe two, maybe three, and sometimes maybe just one, just something that you can do that can change your life financially forever. Like, once you do these things, there's no going back. These things are good for you. They work. I've done them. I'm telling you, they'll change your life. So, quick story, 2017, a lot of you that follow my other channels about business, you know that in 2017, me, Shon-Jhon, your boy, yes, was homeless. How homeless? Not sleeping on somebody's couch, homeless. Not sleeping on somebody's floor, homeless. I'm talking about outside homeless. Nowhere to live, nowhere to take a bath, no change of clothes, nothing like that. I had just come out of a flood. I was living in Baton Rouge. I now live in Dallas. I was living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There was a bad flood. I'm talking about in my neighborhood, 10 feet of water. That should give you an indication of how bad it was. So coming out of that, I lost everything. I had nowhere to live. It wasn't my house. I lost all. I didn't have much furniture, but what I had, I lost it. I lost all my clothes, all my personal items. I came out of there with nothing. I was rescued on a fireman's boat. That's how I learned, like, when firemen go into your neighborhood to rescue you. they usually go to the those who are like disabled and whatnot first. And then if you have power, flick your porch light, and then the boats will know. They may not stop the first time, but they'll be aware that somebody's at that house. And water goes up really fast. If you remember Katrina, I do 05. You may be wondering, and you may still be wondering, how in the heck did all those people get on those roofs? Why did they go up there? Well, water rises very, very quickly in a flood, and there's no getting out or through the water. The only place you can go to save your life is up. That's how they ended up. That's how they ended up upstairs. Thank God they were able to break through those roofs, because those who couldn't didn't make it. And so again, you know, I learned a lot being out there. So I was struggling. It was struggle life. You know, I would go into this bookstore called what was it called? Barnes and Noble. And I would go into the Barnes and Noble, and if you weren't reading a book and you're just lounging, they would ask you to leave. And so I didn't want to get kicked out. I used to go there to try to sit in one of the recliners and take a nap because I was so tired, or drink some water. So I started pretending I was reading. I got real smart about it, right? And so I went through a section. I was like, all right, let me read something small, just a little small book that might be interesting. And then I saw a very small book. It was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a true story of how I found that book. And I was like, all right, let me check this out. Rich and Poor, fine, I'll take a look. And I looked at it, and all of a sudden I was like, I started liking the book. I was like, oh, this book's pretty cool. Let me kind of stick with it just a little longer, see what happens. And so I stuck with the book just a little longer, end up finishing the book. But it gave me a new perspective on money. So the first thing I'm going to hit you with, if you want to change your life financially and completely flip your life around, the first thing I'm going to hit you with is financial education. You need to re-educate, if that's a word. Re-educate what you know. Here's another way. You need to unlearn and relearn some things. So, financial education, that's going to be the first thing. What do you know about money? How well do you understand money? When it comes to money, how do you think? Number two, and you know, in no particular order, but I'm just going to give you what helped me. Number two, I thought because I was always broke, I had money problems. I didn't realize I had money management problems. Even poor people get money. The problem is the money is mismanaged, right? And there are other things, but one of the main core problems is money is mismanaged. And so I was a bad money manager. That was number two. So I was in trouble because of that. I was a poor money manager, and that was number two, left me in a really bad spot. So learn to manage your money, because you're going to get access to money even if you're poor. When I was poor, the government would still write me a $5,000 check every January on something called income tax return, because I was poor, right? And so you're going to get that. So if you learn to manage it, you'll be much better off if you learn money management. So that helped tremendously. That was a big win, big change. And so that's number two. So the first one, just really quickly, before we get into the third, the first was financial education. Once you learn about money, you can do things differently, make better decisions. Number two was, what was number two? I'm thinking about other stuff as I'm doing this. And number two was money management. So if you become a better money manager, chances are you're going to have more success and be better with the little money that you do get. And number three, and this is a very important one, so I hope you guys get this. Learn the difference between an asset and a liability. Because most of us go out because we don't know the difference between an asset and a liability, and we go out and acquire liabilities, but we think they're assets. An example would be we go out and acquire a car, and we say, oh, this car is an asset. Well, let's define it. An asset makes money for you, puts money in your pocket. Liability takes money out of your pocket. So when the car note is due each month, are you getting paid or is someone else getting paid? Well, I'm paying the lender. Okay, gotcha. Then that makes it a liability. Just follow the cash flow. Is it moving to you or away from you? That's a liability or an asset. And so we go out and we acquire liabilities that we think are assets. We even call them depreciating assets. What in the world? What is a depreciating asset? So we've got a lot to learn. I'm going to teach as much as I can on this channel. For the person that reached out about coaching, that's not something I've gotten into, but if somebody wants a one-on-one or something like that, I'll be glad to help out. So just let me know, put in the comments, one-on-one if you want that. If you want to get a copy of the book, write book in the comments. And hey, if you just want me to continue to pump more content out, just hit the thumbs up and I appreciate that. Gotta go, guys. Day's got to get started. And but I hope I said something today that bless you and help you in some way. Peace. Have a great day.